Hi, this is Michelle for VALive.tv. I'm coming to you today. I'm a little bit sad, I have to say. A couple of reasons why. The first reason is that I was hoping that I wouldn't have to do this video until much later on. It's about virtual assistant disasters and how to deal with them. The reason I'm sad that I have to do this now is because this week I actually had my own virtual assistant disaster and I'm currently in it, so I'm crying on the inside at the moment, really. But the good thing about it is that I can sit here and have this video with you and hopefully pass on a few tips on how to deal with your virtual assistant disaster, because although there are very, very few things that can go wrong, when they do go wrong, it's like a tsunami for me. So anyway, I'm going to tell you about my disaster on the blog. I figured that it would probably be easier for me to write about it and tell you than it would be to try and explain it on a video. And it's probably a little bit boring for those of you who don't actually want to listen to my disaster. So if you want to read my disaster, you can read it on the blog. And here are my 5 laws, and I'm calling them laws because you really have to do every single one if you're dealing with a virtual assistant disaster. These are my 5 laws on how to handle your clients when you're breaking some sort of bad news to them about what's happened. So the first one is you have to notify your client of what's happened, and you can't delay, you can't put it off, and if you do delay, it's probably only going to make things worse. So first and foremost, you have to notify the client of your disaster and what's happened. The second law is that you have to explain what's happened. You don't have to go into great detail, but you have to briefly explain what has happened and you know, what the situation is and what's going on. Hopefully, you know, people, if they're understanding, they may understand. The third one is you have to give some sort of solution. You have to solve. So you've notified them, you've told them what the problem is, and then you have to bring out your backup plan. So whatever the disaster is, you need to have a backup plan. You should have a backup plan. So you need to inform your client what your backup plan is. So for example, if they can't contact you by the normal means that they would normally contact you, you have to provide an alternative method of contact, that type of thing. The next one, number 4, is you have to predict what's going to happen next. Now, most of the time with disasters, you can't really predict what's going to happen. And you can't say 100% what's going to happen. But you can say, well, I think this is going to happen. So you can say that, you know, for example, if you're out of contact with someone, you can say that I hope to have this resolved in the next 48 hours, that type of thing. So it gives people some sort of guideline as to when the situation is going to be resolved. And every situation is different. And the most important thing, the 5th thing that you have to do, the 5th law, is that you have to apologize, sincerely apologize for what's happened. Even if it's not your fault, you know, you still have to say sorry, and you have to thank your client or your potential client or whatever for their patience in the matter, because it's going to be quite difficult for them, and you know, if you can thank them for their patience and for their understanding, and you apologise, hopefully that they'll be a little bit compassionate towards you and won't be too angry with the situation. So those are my 5 laws on how to deliver bad news to a client with regard to your virtual assistant business. And you can find out what my disaster is on the blog virtualassistant-live.com. Head over there now. It's pretty bad. Okay, right, I'm going to go now, and thank you so much, and I look forward to a happier next video.